Sigeleli Africa, Maluparayisu Kondolayo, Izwahimijana Soyetu, Osi Sigelela China, Lusapolwayo, Murela Uluga Sichama Saesu, Usibuluke, sichabasa, Jesus, sichabasa, South Africa, South Africa.
Thank you very much. There's still a lot of space this side. Can you please come up front? I know it's nice ukuhlala ngasemva, it's nice ngoba uba bekuthiwa senkonzweni ibhesi baphanga emva yabo kodwa ke because we are here to listen to yourselves. Otolika bambaret. Okay. Let me greet everyone present. I hope we are not leaving someone we should be recognizing. And if there is someone we are supposed to be recognizing, I'm sure we will be alerted to that.
Iminhlanganiso yethu siqalele ndiyathemba ukuthi xa sibulisa akukho mntu simshiye ngasemva ebekufaneleke mhlambi simhloniphile samnika uwonga kodwa bangabukhona lo mntu ndiyathemba ukuthi sawuthi sikrwecwe saziswe ngaye bangubani lo mntu.
Siphuma pha kwindlu yowiso-mthetho i-National Assembly kuzwelonke.
We are from the Parliament of South Africa, particularly in the National Assembly.
We are the Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy.
Siyikomiti imithombo yezezimbiwa kunye namandla.
On my far left, we have Honorable Malinga.
Pha ngasekhohlo kude kum sinohloniphekileyo kaMalinga.
Next to her, we have Honorable Madokwe.
Ecaleni kwakhe sinoma uMadokwe.
Next to Honorable Madokwe is Honorable Likov.
Sibe nohloniphekileyo kaLenkov.
Next to me, on my left, is Honorable Volmarans.
Ecaleni kwami apha ngasekhohlo ngohloniphekileyo Volmarans.
On my right is Honorable Zungula.
Ngasekunene kwami ngohloniphekileyo kaZungula.
Gqeberha pass, Honorable Jafta.
At the end we have Honorable Jafta.
Lo uthethayo is Mr. Luzipo.
I am Mr. Luzipo.
You see, they are all honorable. I'm the only one who's a mister.
Bonke ke babizwa ngoba ngabahloniphekileyo mna ndim kuphela osetyenziswa igama elithi mnumzana kuye.
Because at times I'm expected to be a mediator than a chair.
Kuba maxa wambi kufaneleke ukuba mandibe ngumlamleli njengoba ningusihlalo nje.
We are here because the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy has made a proposal of a new legislation.
Silapha ngenxa yokuba isebe lezezimbiwa namandla liye lenza isiphakamiso somthetho omtsha.
The Upstream Petroleum Resources Development Bill.
Umthetho ngophuhliso ke lezamandla ke libizwa ngoba ipetroleum.
Then as a committee we decided that before we deliberate on the bill, we must first go out and hear the views of the people on the bill. What is their take on the proposal by the department?
Njengekomiti sesathatha isigqibo sokuba phambi kuba thina siyikomiti sike siqwalaselele umthetho uyelwayo masiqale sizoqokelela izimvo zoluntu bazona uluntu luyibona njani lo mthetho uziswe lisebe kuthi.
So for now it's still proposals from the department, not from the committee.
Utsho ukuthi kwangoku ke lo mthetho uyelwayo size ngawo apha sisiphakamiso esivela kwisebe asiveli kule komiti.
So we are here for you to tell us what is your view on the proposal.
Size apha ke ngokuba sizomamela nina uba nisixelele uba nina zithini izimvo neengcebiso zenu kwesi siphakamiso sivela kwisebe.
So for now we don't have a view as a committee.
Okwangoku thina siyile komiti asikabi nazi imbono sinazo ngesi siphakamiso sivela kwisebe.
Only when we have finalized the public hearings in all the provinces, we will then deliberate on the bill and then come up with our own proposals on what is contained on the bill.
Kuphela kusemveni kokuba siye saphulaphula zo onke amaphondo ngalendlela senze ngayo namhlanje sizaya kuwo onke amaphondo siphulaphule ingcebiso nezimvo zenu bahlali ukuba zithini na siqale ke ngokuthi na xa sesiyigqibe onke amaphondo sihlale phansi njengekomiti siqale nathi ke ngokusixoxe sinivakalise zethu izimvo.
So please, I know in many places where we were going, people were asking us about what is contained in the bill. And I always give one answer. Don't want to see us inviting you in order to fight in front of you, because as a committee we represent different political parties.
Into eyenzekayo abantu maxamanizi banento yofuna ukusibuza imibuzo ngento ebhalwe kwesi siphakamiso sivela kwisebe singaveli kuthi. Ndiyacela ke uba nincede torho ningasifaki kuloo meko kuba kaloku uba ngaba nisifake kuloo meko nifuna kubekho umuntu onophendula ngento elapha kweli phepha nawuba ke nifuna ukubona thina kwesi stage siwisana siqulana phansi kuba kaloku asikathethi into thina ngesi siphakamiso.
So if I were to give you an answer, it will be my opinion, not of the committee, because the committee has not discussed the bill until we have heard from you.
Umzekelo ukuba ngaba mna ndinophendula ke kulonto ibuzwayo ivela pha kuni izoba iluluvo lwam ingelulo lale komiti kanti xa siyile komiti siphelele into esiyithetha siyibhekisa kuni imele ba into sivumelene ngayo xa sisonke thina kuqala.
So it's not that we don't want, but we can't discuss, agree on something and then come back and hear people. We must first hear people. Based on many of the views that will be coming out, we can then go and discuss and come up with our own recommendations.
Ndicela niqonde kakuhle ukuthi ke asiyonto sinoyenza into yoba masihambe sohlala phansi sixoxe sigqibe sivumelane sandule ukuthi sizomemela abantu noko asiyondlela yosebenza leyo siqala sijikeleze sive abantu bathini sandule kuhamba ke ngoku siyoxoxa thina xa sixoxa sisazi sizivile izimvo zenu.
Now, let me just recap, not in totality, because you must also be able to apply your mind without being influenced. Let me just recap some of the proposals that are being made by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy.
Mandizame ke ndithi qabaqaba ke nje ezinye zeziphakamiso ezivela kwisebe lemithombo yezezimbiwa nezamandla andizungena ke kuzo zonke inkalo kuba nani kufuneke nibe nendlela yokwazi ukuzifundela nisebenzise ingqondo yenu nani.
One of those proposals is that the bill is proposing a stand-alone legislation on petroleum provisions.
Esinye ke senjongo zalomthetho okanye sesiphakamiso sivela kwisebe sesokuba ke makubekho umthetho owodwa ozimeleyo osebenza ngepetroleum negas.
Currently, the legislation
This is oppressing human rights and our people.
Siyacinezeleka kulamathuba nangenxa yeminyaka.
We are being oppressed these days and due to and also because of the years.
Umuntu ongaphezulu kweminyaka 35 apha eSouth Africa kuphandle ngakuye nangona ebenogqwesa kwimisebenzi ethile.
As I mean years, I mean the age. For instance, if somebody is above 35, that person should just forget about being employed. Even if the person could excel in a given opportunity, but because of the age, that person is being set aside.
Mathematics and science are considered. What about ingqondo yemveli?
What about our natural knowledge?
This is also there's also no delegation from our areas to represent our people in parliament. Slovo, for instance, has no high school at all. There's only one primary school, which is also unlawful. And where truly do all the bills and the acts of this country, who actually is supposed to be gaining from them? Responses and processes by our officials take too long. People are fed up. I do not know what is going to be with the next votings, but truly, if I can tell the government, please do pull up your socks. People are getting tired. Thank you.
Good people, let me say it from now.
Bantu bakuthi make ndithethe nani kwangoku.
Let me beg you, don't lose an opportunity in front of you.
Mandinicenge sanukuphulukana nethuba xa nilinikiwe.
We could have taken any place and go there.
Ngesikhethe nayiphina indawo saya kuyo.
But we have chosen you.
Kodwa ke sikhethe ukuza kuni.
Now, not in a bad way, Siswamwe contraless, not in a bad way, take it because I'm trying to make something from. We need to write. Let me give you an example. We need to write that I don't want to enter politics, voting or no voting, but we are here now to say we are making a law. Help us participate in the making of this law. Now, I will expect someone who says, we don't agree with the 20% that government is giving. Someone who says the bill must be specific on the employment of youth. As currently it is not saying anything about young people. 2, the bill must talk about the required skills that will fit the petroleum industry of our people. Otherwise, if we come and say, we don't have this, we don't have that, it can't be written because what we are coming here is the law. Help us to make the law to even address these issues that you are complaining about. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be a law. The risk then is that when you go to other areas, they will talk to the bill. And the decision, the recommendations or the views they make, they become dominant views of the process. They bind you. And you say you were present, but that's not what was said. So I'm just pleading, not in a negative way. Let's make it a point that when we come out of here, we know, for instance, that, do you agree, for instance, that there must be state-owned petroleum company? If you say you agree, why do you agree with that? You don't agree, why you don't agree on a petroleum company? So I'm just trying so that, which is why I said, we don't close out people who would want to talk to the bill and say, I disagree with this clause, I agree with this, and so forth. Ungaqhubeka mntu omdala.
Chair, thank you very much. Igama lam ngu-Andile Tolong.
I'm Andile Tolom.
I'm from Solar and Energy Group Holdings. In fact, Chair, you have covered me on your later comment. As the Solar and Energy Group, we support the separation of the bill. And the reason why we support, we want focus on petroleum resources. Because we believe that when these two entities are separated, there will be focus on mining, there will be focus on petroleum resources. We understand, Chairperson, as you already said, that the majority of black people are strategically discriminated from participating in petroleum resources, mining, maritime industries, and other industries that were formerly for the advantaged groups who were participating for some time. So the bill must take into account the introduction of black people into these industries by way of unbundling of services in order to allow black people in the mainstream of petroleum resources, mining, and others for economic transformation. Because you will see from time to time when there are tenders that are issued out, the requirements are so huge to an extent that the SMMEs could not participate in those industries. People who know, you find that you need 8 GPE and so on. So those people that were previously advantaged, they continue to benefit at the expense of those who never benefited in the past. That is the black people in majority. So if you unbundle those services, you allow those people who had no opportunity to participate, at least to be involved in the mainstream of those industries, to an extent that they gain experience, they gain necessary qualifications and requirements so that they compete at the end at a higher level. So my main thing is the unbundling of service so that black people and those who were previously disadvantaged can participate in these industries. And also the problem that we are experiencing is a turnaround time for approving applications, and it's a tedious process. For example, the Solar and Energy Group Holding applied for the wholesale license for Petroleum last year. So it took a year for them to be approved, but we have not yet approved, it's still in the process. Yes, we are excited that it comes now from the minister. The minister has signed because we had to appeal and so on. It still is a process. So that process is very tedious. So these are the things that the bill should look at, so that it makes easy for black people to apply, and also the turnaround time of application, at least it should not be extended. And also, lastly, I'm just emphasizing the unbundling of these services. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Ima Butolo mungazuzu yohlala phansi. What is the turnaround time that you are suggesting on the, because I think it says 14 days. What is the live your experience of a year, we all know that one. But I'm saying in the bill, if I'm not mistaken, it suggests 14 days turnaround time on the application. For instance, others says no, 30 days or whatever. But I just want to know, what are you suggesting should be a reasonable turnaround time?
No, in fact, 14 days, Chair, it's a right turnaround time. Yeah, but I'm talking on the experience that we have currently. Thank you.
Ndisibulisela kwakhona lo uthethayo ngokuxolelwa wakwamagalakanqa ndisuka kwa #friendly environment nakasanco #friendly environment xolelwa wakwamagalakanqa
Xolelwa Magalakanqa from the
friendly environment
friendly environment and Sanko.
omna ke owam umba endiwuphakameleyo apha kufuna uqonda basi eze kwesi sishwankathelo sale bill. First point is it designated state-owned company as an entity responsible for managing the state interest in petrol rights. Mna ndinengxaki ngaloo nto as umhlali, because ixesha elininzi xa sinike zikhona ii-companies or entities as state-owned ezingenzi kakuhle.
With what I just read, I have a problem with that clause because there are a lot of the state-owned companies which do not do right in fulfilling what is suggested here.
So xa kuqulunqwa le bhili kukho lo mbono utshoyo, zeziphi izinyathelo ezithathelweyo zakuba hayi xa sifake le Petroleum and Gas icompany iza kwenza kahle xa i-state-owned, while sibona uba zikhona ezingakhange zenze kakuhle ezifuneka every time kukho i-bail out for zona.
I want to know which steps are to be taken in addressing the challenges that we've already experienced on the current state-owned companies. If, for instance, we come up with an agency or a state-owned company that is going to deal with petroleum and gas, what steps are to be taken to overcome those challenges or experience that we already have as the members of the community?
Okunye ke okugqibela as umuntu olwela amalungelo e-environment ifuna uqonde kuba kuqulunqwa ibhili and le project izaba khona iyi-project enkulu. Apha kule bhili ikhona na into etshoyo kuba should ba ezi zinto zingenzeki kwi-environment yethu sizawumisa phi na sihambe phi na, because xa sithetha nge-huge project with money involved, with big profits involved. Are we going to stop if sibona uba kukhona okuza konakala na concerning i-environment?
As somebody is also working for the environment, protecting the environment, there may be any steps that to be taken if we see that our environment is at stake, is no longer protected. Are there any steps suggested in this proposal? What is to happen should that fail?
Okugqibela ke before ndiyohlala phansi, we know that these bills they are nice written on black and white, but siyayazi xa kufuneka zenzekile azenzeke ngolu hlobo zibekwe ngalo sithenjiswe ngalo. As abantu abamnyama ngoku sizathenjiswa xa kunoqhubekeka sizafumana amathuba omsebenzi, but we know going forward kuzaba khona izinto ezasivalela zisicinezele because ngoku iproject inkulu should ibhili iphasiswe kuzawufuna amakhwekhwetha pha abane-experience thina abantu bamnyama sibe sisilele ngasemva singenazo zo experience ezo.
And furthermore, we as the people, local people, we see that this is a big project according to this bill. But when the time comes that this bill has to be implemented, we, the people who are local, are going to be sidelined because there will be talks like experience and people who are specialists on particular fields. We, as the locals, who are going to be ignored. So I really wish that this bill should make a provision for us as the locals to be protected.
Nkosi.
Thank you.
Sisimaxoli, susithelekisa. Susibuza, sizukuphendula. Sixelele, when you come here, please, because once I answer now, how will the state-owned company be handled? They will ask me, where did we discuss that? We are here, just say, based on our experience of the state-owned companies, this bill must put this provision, for instance, that it must be compulsory, that the public must have access on the finances of that entity from time to, I'm just making an example. Then we write what you are proposing. Because now if we dig an answer, two, if you say, experience has shown that many of these companies are responsible for pollution, put a particular penalty if they have deviated from environmental compliance. Then you are giving us, we want your views, not us telling you about our views. We don't have views now until we discuss. If you say, put checks and balances on whether what, no, let's correct this, there's no project now. We can't go to, we're here. Then it will mean every area where we are going, there's a problem. We'll still end up in Limpopo. There is no project even in Limpopo. It's a law that will manage if there is a project. So if you say now, just tell us, anyone who is coming, please, good people, tell us what you are thinking. No, wait, I'm chairing. Tell us what you are thinking. And then we will write what you are thinking, not us. Continue.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Sandis Potwan. First, I just want to commend the committee. It looks very promising. More young people and more young faces I can see there. I'm also glad to see Mr. Zungula, Honorable Zungula, in that committee. I hope he will redirect his energy from that thing that I cannot mention to this bill amendment. We are wishing that this is not a waste of time and a talk show. When we are here, we are very serious and we are very clear. Mine is to wish the committee to look very close, this portfolio committee to look very close on the issue of rising of petrol. Because when the petrol rises, the food also rises. And it affects directly the working class, of which is us, especially aba bangathathi ntweni. Because when the petrol rises, the mode of transport that we are using to town, their price rises and the food also rises. So I want the committee to look very close on that thing. Also, Chair, I support the bill that is proposed by the department, as I was looking very close to it, on the basis that the main objectives like the local content as the development strategy to enable skills, development, local recruitment, and national participation through supply of goods and services. I thank you for now, Chair. I'll come back.
And you mandibulise etafuleni, ndibulise umuntu wonke olapha ngaphakathi.
Greetings to the delegation on the table, the panel, and everybody present here.
Mna ndizaba very short kakhulu.
I'll be very short.
Into eyenzekayo umnomzana lo ebe ubambele ubuchairperson. Yoka nena ndikazichazi hey ndinqamile. Ndingumncedisi wakwamkweta. Ndisuka pha kwa Ward 15 elali lebomvu.
I am Mncedisi Mkhweta from Ward 15, right location.
Ndifuna ukuthi kule committee enkosi kakhulu ngale bill nezenayo.
I firstly want to say to the committee, thank you very much for the bill that you brought to us.
Qala bendingenamdla kodwa umnomzana uthe wochaza wathi wandichana baba ndiphakame nzomapha.
Firstly, I must state that at the beginning I was not interested, but after you explained it to us and it became clear to me, that gave me interest to come up with my input.
Why ndizomapha kuba ndibona into yoba le committee ifuna a new South Africa.
The reason why I'm here, I see that this committee wants to build a new South Africa.
Umbuzo uthi uthatha njani lo muntu ba kubuildwe iSouth Africa entsha? Kukuba le ibill siyaqala ukuyifumana and ngoba siqala uyifumana nje kum iluncedo olukhulu.
Maybe you have a question, what do I mean by New South Africa? The reason for that is because this kind of a bill, to me, is something very new, and it raises some hopes to us.
Umninzi umuntu ongaphangeliyo. Now xa ndiyijonga ke mna ke le bill ise yavuleka kum ndabona into yoba kuzawutsho kuyeka uba ngoongqikane babantu elokishini.
There's a lot of unemployment that is taking place, but on listening this bill is giving hope that it will fight the big number of unemployment that takes place in the locations where we are staying.
Nalento le poison esikuyo yaqala ngo-2008 ye-load shedding uzotsho ngoku nayo xa ndiyijonga le bill izawusebenza kakhulu pha.
And even the poison that we are experiencing now, that started from 2008 of the load shedding. As I look on this bill, it seems to me it will also minimize this kind of load shedding that we are experiencing right now.
Ivinto embi ke mna ke into yoba ngokwe-age yam ingathi ndim ndedwa omdala apha endlini bendizawungena kule bill bendizawuaplaya bendizawuyifumana ilayisensi into enawo qha sendikufutshane ugoduka.
It's a pity that looking around, I see I'm the most elderly person in this room, and I can assure you that should the time be in my favor, I would have applied and get a license and take part in this kind of industry.
Mna ke ndihlala phantsi ngokuthi le bill mayiqhubekeke andithi mayiqhubekeke ngoba indinika ngaphaya Nkosi.
As I sit down, I say this bill must be processed because it gives me a big hope. Thank you.
Okay, this Bulsele nam, igama ngumlungisi Grootboom.
Greetings to everybody. My name is Mlungisi Grootboom.
And the representative of solar and energy. Solar and energy.
I'm representing solar and energy.
Yeah. If, but Basically, mine is a number of things. The first one is that if we look at upstream, if we talk about upstream, we virtually, that area includes exploration, includes production, possibly storage, distribution, and supply. Now, currently all of these things happen. We have companies that are involved in exploration. We have companies that are actually involved in production of petroleum products. So if I look at, I must be honest, I didn't go through the bill, but I went through the objectives, and I also took notes of what you said, Mr. Chair, the Department of Minerals and Energy is suggesting should happen. So the first question which I will answer is, the landscape has all these activities. Is the bill seeking to regulate all these activities under one umbrella? That's the first question, and I think it is. The other, if that is, to me, if that is the case, my colleague from Solar and Energy spoke about turnaround time, and I've also been involved in another capacity where I actually was quite frustrated with getting a license, and this was a retail license via the department, this DMRE, which actually the experience was such that what is written on paper in terms of turnaround time is probably a dream, because my experience was far longer than that. So having said that, I would support the regulation of these activities through this bill. However, my suggestion is that we need to decentralize, particularly when it comes to certification, in other words, licenses. Let me give you my experience with this other license I had applied for. I eventually did get it. So you apply, because you're based in the Eastern Cape, you apply for your retail license in East London. So you get a reference in East London, and the person who's handling, and you get the person who's handling actually your application. But you deal with that person, so they go through their screening processes. You deal with them, and then they have to send the application to Pretoria. Now, when it gets to Pretoria, it will land with anyone. So I am unable to follow up on the progress on the application directly with Pretoria, because I have to go through the person who's actually handling my application, who's based in East London. The person in East London is unable to get hold of the person in Pretoria, and time is ticking. So you then have, you actually are driven to a point of frustration, because you have absolutely no feedback. The feedback you get from East London is that I can't get hold of the person who's handling the issue in Pretoria. So my view is, if these activities were, or these processes were decentralized, then it will cut out a lot of this red tape time that actually continues to frustrate somebody. If you look at what is in black and white on specifically the retail license, you are virtually given up to 6 months. I got my retail license 24 months later. So what I'm trying to say here is that much as I may support the bill, and there will be different licensing requirements, if you want to explore, there's a certain license that you have to apply for. If you want to go into production, there's another license that you need to apply for. We need to find a way of maybe decentralizing it without losing the authority at a national level, so that we can cut out on the red tape time. That's all.
Molo ndiyazibulisela nokuthandeka Adams ndihlala 18 Gwashu. Into endifuna uyiqonda ke le Oh sorry. 18 Gwashu.
18 kwasho kuward 1
Wo 44
Thandeka.
Adams.
I am Thandeka Adams. I'm staying at Ward 44 at number 18 Kwashu Street.
Ndifuna uqonda le nto le ezinto ezifakwa ezisola because ndive kuthiwa izisola zizawutsalwa kwimali endodla. So ndifuna iqonda ithini le nto?
I want to know about these solars that it's being said or it's rumored that they are going to deduct from the pension or the government grant that we are receiving. So for the solars that they installed to our houses, they are going to deduct the money for them from our grants. Is that true?
Andiva kuthi.
Ndithi ndiyaxolisa nyani kodwa usemhlanganweni orongo. Sithetha ngepetroleum ngebill ngomthetho oqulunqwayo. Kodwa sakunceda xa ugqibileyo ukuthi dibana nabani ozokwazi udlulisa esi sikhalo sakho. Sakunceda.
Nkosi bhuti.
Sizawuthatha abale uBram Lu uyahamba apha. Uzambambela uzamthathela natsika. Nansi into uthetha inyani. Let's face it uthetha inyani. Kodwa ndiqondi boyasikhupha kakuhle ngoba lengozi ayichoyo ingenzeka futhi iphindeke. Bayayazi phe emnyangweni hlaleni babuza masithathe mining application for exploration right or permit. Ithi turnaround time is 14 days. Kodwa uyakwazi uyapha ufika emnyangweni kuhleli kuze kube more than 1,000 applications not processed. Ingxaki obesithi mina noba ingaba ngu2 days noba ingangubani ubani isincedisi ndiyayiva ne decentralization. You know what is the problem? In that law there is no consequences for failure to comply. I would love umuntu ozoza athi xa sinikeza turnaround time evumela no 14 days. Decentralization, yes, we may consider it. But say, failure to comply, what could be the consequences? Because nam yayazi hleli apha nje kungena zibe 120 ndandifake ngexesha elithile ndandifake ngexesha but xa ujonga umthetho awunayo into echoyo uba umithanga u14 days kuza kwenzeka ntoni. So ndizama uncedisa uba nikhululeke nje ni express what has to happen based based on your experience. Ndiyayibona ipoint ye decentralization le ayichoyo, but it doesn't mean if it decentralized it ayizukwenzeka again. Let's take another round of hands. Yes, Sisi. Sisi Lona, number 1. Sisi Loa, number 2. Utata apa, number 3. Uzawujonga nje isitulo esiku number 3. Is there another hand? Number 4. Mama lo apa. Ubufuna ukuphinda siswami? Usisi lo ubufuna uphinda? Ubufuna uphinda? Oh. Okay.
Ndingazibulisela ngaphambi kwipanele kuyo ngaphambi kwam. Igama ndinguAthini wakwaJohn.
I'm Ati John. I greet everyone in the house.
Ndiphuma kumhlaba waseTinarha
I'm from Newtonate.
kwi-organization eyi-Green Blood.
I'm from Greenland Organization.
Umna bendinombuzo.
I have a question.
Ingaba le bill izisiwayo ngaphambi kwethu izakwazi na ukukhusela ukutya esikusebenzisayo okuselwandle.
Will this bill protect the food that we use and the sea?
Ngoba siyazi ukuthi eJeffreys Bay kunolwandle okuthiwa iAston Bay olunuka kakhulu.
We know that in Jeffreys Bay, there's a beach that is called
Aston Bay
Aston Bay. It is very smelly there.
olenziwa yinkampani ekwapha eJeffreys Bay ekhuphela amanzi angcolileyo elwandle.
The company that's there in Jeffreys Bay that is working there is the cause of this water that is coming there that is very smelly.
Very recently siye salahlekelwa zinhlanzi ezininzi elwandle
We lost so many fishes in the sea
ngenxa yenkampani zaseJeffreys Bay ezingcolisa ulwandle Jeffreys Bay.
because of the many companies in Jeffreys Bay who pollute the sea.
So umbuzo wam umnye ingaba ukutya kwethu okuselwandle le bill izakwazi na ukubukhusela.
Will this bill protect the food that we have in the sea?
Nkosi.
Thank you.
Good day. I'm Leanne Casper from Ward 31 in Missionville. Okay, I've got two questions. I support this bill thoroughly, but I have got some questions which I'd like to raise. How is this amendment bill going to be for the people that is living, one, with ADHD? Because science and mathematics are the most crucial things that is being questioned or thingy, which the South African law procures for us, and we know that we have a barrier there. Two, those kids, those people can't read, they can't write. So where are those people supposed to go to? Three, can the youth be prioritized in such an instance? Because we as the youth are the main focus of the South African place, as according to our right, we are the people that are supposed to be protected. We are the people that are supposed to be moving things forward. We are the people that is supposed to get more and more enhancement of the nutrients that is being given to us. But our law doesn't give us a lot of things. And one of those things are, we suffer from unemployment, BBE, and inequality. The BBE inequality is also named as one. So can we have a look into that once, please? Thank you.
Mandizibulisele kumanqanaba onke.
I greet you all, protocol observed,
Ngakumbi kubantu basemhlabuhlangene abahluphekileyo.
especially from poor people from Emhlangeni.
Emhlabuhlangene.
Emhlabuhlangeni.
Yes. Ibhili ndiyayamkela.
I support this bill.
Ibhili kwakufuneka uba kwakudala yenzekile. Igama ndinguzulile Solwandle.
I am Zolile Solwandle.
Ibhili ndiyayamkela.
I welcome this bill
Ngethemba loba le bill izawuvula amathuba omsebenzi.
with the hope that this bill will open job opportunities.
Kodwa ndizamcela urhulumente kwinto yokokuba kubekho i-training ezawuthi yenziwe for abantwana bethu
I will ask the government to train our children,
more special abantwana sebephasa ugrade 12
especially those who have matriculated.
kuba siyayazi phambi ko-94 besicinezelwe.
Before 1994, we were oppressed.
Mayingalibaleki ke loo nto leyo kuba kaloku thina bantu abamnyama khange sinikwe la mathuba.
We must not forget that because us as black people, we're not given such opportunities.
Makungathathwa ke abantu ke bona ke sebewafumene la mathuba balityalwe aba bona bangakhange bawafumane la mathuba.
They must not take people who already had the opportunities and forget about those who didn't have the opportunities.
Siyamcela kurhulumente aba bantwana balapha kule holo mna njengoba ndingumuntu wecontrolesa nje abantwana bakule holo usininzi sabo abaphangeli.
I will ask the government as a member of the Contralesa, there are so many youth even in this house who are unemployed.
Urhulumente ke makayithathele ingqalelo loo nto.
Please consider about these children that are here.
And makabe ngathi uyakhawulezisa ukuzisa implementation kubantu bakokwethu.
Please, will you please speedily make the implementations concerning the law, the bill that you're making?
Sinethemba ke into yokuba xa selevulekile yonke le masingagqithwa ilusuthu ilusuthu ukunyuka kwepetrol ukunyuka kwamaxabiso onke.
Concerning the petrol rising, we must, Lesotho must not,
Masingagqithwa ilusuthu.
yeah, must not be before us, it must not be above us.
Ukwenzeka kwayo yonke lento izawuzisa utshintsho ngoba ngoku xa uyokwenza igrocery nge-1000 ayisekho igrocery ye-1000 ngoku igrocery ye-1000 ngoku seyi-2000.
Even when you go to make groceries, you will make groceries for 1,000 rand. You can't even afford groceries for 2,000 rands.
Now siyafuna ke urhulumente ayithathe ingqalelo lento and abe ngathi inyawo zakho uyazikhawulezisa ngoba uyazizisa ezi zinto kodwa ezizisa nje ezi zinto uthatha inyawo lonwabo ukukhawuleza azise izinto ebantwini abantu bakuthi bakwazi uzifumana bazifumane izinto bazifunayo.
We want the government to consider this, but we would really appreciate if the government would speedily implement whatever that the bill will come with, because I always notice that whenever it comes to implementation, it is very slow.
Abantu bakuthi urhulumente ngoku abamthembanga kakuhle ngoba kaloku akazizisi msinyane i-service deliver kubo.
People have lost faith in the government because service delivery doesn't come to the people.
Ndiyabulela.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I am Nomvula Jack.
#friendly environment etinaga
I'm from #friendly environment in Newtonage,
nakwasanko.
and I'm from Sanko as well.
I'm an activist of environment. And then ndibone apha kwisiphakamiso sikarhulumente uthe apha uza kuyiprotecta indalo.
Here I see that the bill says they will protect the environment.
Ndavuya kakhulu ke
I'm very happy
ngoba kaloku umhlaba lo siphila kuwo.
because we live in this land.
Kulapho impilo yethu isuka khona.
It's where our lives are.
Ndinomdla ke ngoku okanye ngeba ndithi kurhulumente angaske aqwalasele esi simo sikuso ngoku sokungcoliseka komoya nokuaffecteka kwe-environment.
I would really like to ask the government to really consider the issue that we have of air pollution and the environment getting really damaged.
Aze athi ke ngoku xa kungenwa ke ngoku kweli okanye kweli phulo okanye kule project yele petroleum and gas and mineral
When it comes to the bill concerning the gas and petroleum,
Ingathi kanti iza kwandisa le meko sikuyo ye pollution.
I'm worrying that it won't expand the issue of air pollution and damaging of the environment.
Beze izinto azibeka phambili ke ezo ingathi kanti ngokuba ngoku sizawuvuyela imisebenzi ezawuvuleleka kanti sizawuchaphazeleka kwelinye icala rongo.
I'm concerned that we'll be happy of getting job opportunities, but at the same time, the environment will be damaged.
Nokwesibini ke ba uthe apha proposal ekhoyo apha ithi maximum participation from disadvantaged people. So ndiyacela ke nalapho ke ba ukusuka ngokubheka pha amanyathelo azawalandela abuyele kuthi kwaba bantu balapha ezantsi sazi into bana uthini na ufikelele esigqibeni usithini na.
I would really ask the government to consider that whatever steps that they're going to take, they must involve us as a community in the ground.
Okugqibela ke nanjengoko ke kuzawubakho mhlambi iphulo lemisebenzi inga abantwana bethu ezi skill banazo ngoku ukuba abazuqualifya urhulumente abancede abantwana bethu ngeziskill ezizaba appropriate for le project yakhe ukuze bafumane imisebenzi ngoba sesanele ukuhlala nabantwana ekuhlaleni bebaninzi sihleli sonke thina sibe si-breadwinners singabantu bendodla abantwana bethu abaphangeli.
Would really like the government to equip our children with skills that are appropriate with whatever the bill will entail, so that they can have job opportunities while we're staying at home. We are feeding them with pensions. We really appreciate that, so that they can have the skills and qualifications that are appropriate to the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the people who have just contributed.
Enkosi kakhulu siyabulela kubantu abathe ke basinike igalelo.
Given the fact that we had a limited number of people participating, I would want to ask if there's any other person who would want to make a contribution, since we still have got a couple of minutes to spare.
Ngenxa ntoba sibe nabantu abambalwa abathe benza igalelo ndingathanda uphinda ndivule ithuba loba basekhona abantu abanendaba abafuna uyibhekisa kuba sinemizuzwana esisenayo.
So they can just raise their hands so that we can give them a chance, and
Phakamise izandla sibanike ithuba.
we'll follow the same routine. The lady there, the lady. Okay, and then Mama, she can come through.
Ngajikela mama.
The lady with the regalia there. No, you go to the, yeah. I see no other hands, and I think the people that we see here would be rounding off there's another gentleman there with the jersey. Then we'll be done with this round, and I would want them to start getting through. You can take the lady, then should be. Now, please remember, when you hear people speak and so on, some of us get a little bit agitated, or you get some ideas. Try to stick as much as possible to the explanation that the chairperson has given about the bill itself. We are sensitive to the fact that you might have other issues which we won't close out, where we have a table that will also assist with matters not necessarily related to the bill in question.
Xa kukho umuntu othethayo abanye abantu baye bavuseleleke babe banyukwe ngumoya into ezinjalo xa sithetha siyacela ukuthi umuntu makazame ahlale emxholweni kangangoko anako ewe mininzi imiba edla abantu ekuhlaleni mhlawumbi ukuba ngaba mhlawumbi nemiba engeminye engenanto kwenza nale bill umuntu unoyibhala phansi ayisondeze phaa etafuleni ukuze idluliselwe ke kwicandelo elifanele ukusebenza ngaloo ngxaki xa unenye ingxaki engenanto kwenza kunye nebill leni.
So because the queue is now longer, we would limit our time to not more than 2 minutes on our platform.
Sizawucela ke kwabantu balapha ezitulweni umuntu azame ke intetha yakhe ayishwangathele ke imizuzu engekho
And
ngaphezulu
the lady might start. I know that you have had a presentation before, maybe you are rounding off, but you can have a,
ke wena ke sisixolelwa ubusowuphekisile phambili mhlambi gqabaza nje ufake ezindawo ufuna uzongeza.
Kwakhona xolweni bahlali ngoyothatha indawo kwakhona ndifuna ucacisa nje kulaa point bendikuyo. Maybe my wording of phrasing out my view was not clear enough. I am totally against state-owned entities when it comes to this gas and petroleum, because my reasoning is, we have seen it, it has happened before that everything that is state-owned is riddled with corruption. Should this also be either state-owned, I'm thinking it will have the same results. So I'm totally against it. Or if this bill passes, and it is welcome that they should be under state-owned, I'm thinking there should be a clause that says, if it's not doing well, maybe it's given a time frame in a year or 2 or 3 years' time, then we'll give it to privatize it, give it to private companies, because we've seen what happens with the state-owned entities. And 2, with the advancement of black people, we're saying that we want black people to have these jobs. We're saying we want black people, underprivileged and poorly black people to advance. How then are we going to make sure? My view is there should be a clause there that says that we've seen what happens with the BEE. People are made faces, poor black people are made faces for these companies that are going through. So should this be really about the advancement of poor black people? There should be a clause that makes that it is really the black people that benefits from this legislation or because Gqeberha siyayazi uba we are made faces. We are made faces, then everyone thinks that black people are advancing, meanwhile we are not, we're still staying in the same places.
All right. Mandibulise bethuna apha endlini.
Greeting to the house.
Thandiwe nondumo, thandiwe TA, thandiwe nondumo.
I'm Thandiwe Nondumo.
Ndiphuma ka Ward 27.
I'm from Ward 27.
Organization ka ISEF.
INSEF organization
Zwide.
in Zwide.
Yes. Mna benzocela into enye ezimbini ezintathu bethunana. Ngaske ndiyayivuma okokuqala.
I support the bill, but I would like to request for a few things.
Ukujongana nemeko yethu bantu bamnyama malunga ne-water bill. Ngaske nisincedise kuyo i-water bill because iyasibetha through le water crisis sinayo apha eBhayi.
Please assist us concerning the water bill because we have water crisis here in Gqeberha.
And iphela abantu baphelelwa ngamathemba umbutho wethu ngoba kaloku iyababetha kakhulu sonke siyabetheka le i25,000 i58,000 zebills zamanzi so sifumana apha abantu bape indodla kusokoleka abantu abangaka.
People are losing faith on our organization because sometimes you pay a bill of 25,000, 50,000 and people can't afford that.
Okunye kucela ka nezikills bethunana ezisondele nisiphathele zona ukuze abantu bakuthi bakwazi ukuqonda yonke into eqhubekayo. Enkosi.
Please come closer to us and bring whatever that we need so that people can get the knowledge and understanding of what is happening concerning water in our area.
Ndiyazibulisela kwiParlamente lapha kuthi eGqeberha.
I'm greeting the parliament here in Gqeberha.
Ndinguthoza Maxabanisa ndiphuma ndingu-ward committees yaka-ward 16.
I'm Toza Makabanisa, I'm a ward committee member from Ward 16.
Ndiyayamkela ibhili karhulumente.
I welcome the bill.
Into esizawuyicela ingathi sawuthetha into enye apha rhulumente ba abantwana basemakhaya baphangeli.
It looks like we're going to repeat the same thing, government. The issue is that our children are unemployed.
Siyayibulela kakhulu ngamandla ukuze bakwazi ukufumana indlela yokuphangela bane-degree bane-diploma zabo but bahleli emakhaya.
I really think that this bill will assist us because they are qualified, they have degrees, but they're staying at home.
Ndiyayehla indawo.
Thank you.
Kelka Christu kama molweni nonke.
Greetings you to you all.
Igama ndingubulelwa Suka,
I'm Bulelwa Suka.
member ye committee ka Ward 15.
I'm ward committee member Ward 15.
Umdla wam ukwi clause 31
I'm very much interested in clause 31
ngesizathu.
with the reason that
But xa ndifika apha kule clause ndifumanisa kuno black persons.
when I look at the clause, I find black persons.
Na andaqiniseka ke whether ngumntu ophansi kwe umbrella ye PDI
I'm not too sure if someone under the umbrella of PDI
or umntu onesiduko.
or anyone who has a clan name.
So ndicela icaciswe la ndawo uba ngubani lokureferwa kuye apha.
Please explain who is being referred to there.
Ndiyasuggesta for the
I'm just suggesting.
Again, phaya ndibona kune 10% interest
I see 10% interest.
and 51% owned.
I see 51% owned.
And confused
I'm very confused.
because if, for example, it's two companies involved, kule organization, or whatever it may be called,
If there are two companies involved in this bill,
10% is made up of 1090 and 5149. So I would also suggest that to be clarified or made easier to be understood. Umdla wami kule clause ke for isizathu sokuba ngenene thina sizwe simnyama asazi nix about into eqhubekayo kule industry.
as black people, we are really clueless concerning this industry.
And therefore kunzima ukuxoxa, kunzima ukusuggesta because asinalwazi.
We cannot really put in our views because we are not really sure what is it about.
And for that reason, I would suggest that kubene condition ethetha nge BEE participation or BEE partnership. And law black person mhlambi refers to this BEE.
I don't know if this black
Partnership.
person refers to BE partnership.
Kodwa ke ayicacanga.
It is not clear.
So also in the condition, I would suggest that because of the black nation not knowing anything about this industry, the other partner in the partnership that I'm suggesting, inga window dress, that would be catered for nge condition of the bill. Inga window dress, mnumzana.
It must not be window dressed.
Iti make sure ba kuyaskilwa the other partner so that ibe ne meaning yonke lento sihlalela kwezinhlangano.
make sure that you bring skills in the other partner so that it can be productive.
Enkosi.
Thank you.
Ndiyabulisa
Greetings.
kubo bonke abantu abahleli ngaphambili. Bendike kuqala lost sendiyile ntanga ke. Into yoba ndiqonda uba he singena ndawoni kanene kweento zeebhili zepetroli nenantsik nezimbiwa. Ndaphinda ndacinga into yoba kanene ukutya kwethu kunyuke kangaka kungenxa yezinto.
At first, I was lost as to where do we fit in this bill because I am old, but I remembered also that our food the prices are high because of these.
Okunye ke ndingxamile. Ndifuna ukuthi ke into esenza sibe lost kakhulu thina apha eEastern Cape kweliphondo sinengxaki yoba endo sithetha ngazo siseGauteng asinazo apha noba zikhona ipetrol ikhona indawo ekuthiwa ingafumaneka siye sibe nengxaki kuyo. Gqeberha ke. Okay.
Another thing that made me lost is because here in Eastern Cape, we don't have these things. We don't have places where you can, we don't know of places where you can get petrol compared to at Johannesburg or Gauteng.
Njengomntu kokwalalutsha lika 96 apha ngapha kwaMangcwaba apha eMotherwell kukho ikwari yayikho siye sizibuze ke into yoba ingaba urhulumente akusekho nto inokwenzeka ngala kwari siyeke le nto mane ethi xa sime kwezi bhili sithi sifuna umsebenzi awukho kodwa zikhona indawo ezavalwayo ekufanele uba kwenzeka abantu balapha eEastern Cape bafumane umsebenzi kuzo. Zezinye izinto ke ezo esizibangela uba siqonde uba hey asiyazi noba sichitha ixesha ngoza kwibhili kodwa ke siyanibulela into yoba nize nizosazisa niyipalamente.
Another thing is here at the graves there was a quarry. Yes, that was open and then it was closed. So we don't know what the government is thinking about those places because we can see that those places can produce employment, but now they are closed. So we want the government to look at those places.
Ndingombakazi wakwaBhefile ndihlala kwaWard 42 kwaWard 41 eJoeslope. So ndiyayamkela ibhili ndiyabulela.
I am Ombakazi Befile. I am from Ward 42 in Joeslovo. I welcome the bill. Thank you.
Molweni ndiyabulisa kakhulu apha kwikomiti.
Greetings to the committee.
Ndinomalanga Tom.
I am Nomalanga Tom.
From Ward 54 in Motherwell.
From Ward 54 in Motherwell.
Ndiyabulela nam kakhulu ngale bill. Endifuna ukuxhobisa apha kwikomiti into yoba iproblem yethu kakhulu thina be-Eastern Cape asinazo institution ezinjengezi bekusuppose kanti ziveza le petroli nezoil yonke lento. So bisisicelo kumuntu obana ngazi ku-government a-consideration into yobana noko kwezi provinces zethu zilapha makube nazo abantwana bethu abazawuthi ba-athende kwi-institutions ezikufuphi ungade umntana uba makafune abheke eJoburg uzibe kanti uye esikolweni. At least nathi e-Eastern Cape masibe nayo nobinye. Enkosi.
What I want to raise to the government is that here in Eastern Cape, we don't have institutions where our children can learn about petrol. We ask for the government to produce those institutions here in the Eastern Cape so that our children will not have to go to Johannesburg to get those institutions. Thank you. Greetings, I am Kuseli Khalo. I am from Uitenhage.
kunento enzathi amandla man.
Power.
Amandla.
Power.
Amandla. Kunento endizayicela. Phofu kum
What I'm going to ask,
engavisile ibali esiphila ngayo. Kunezilwanyana singamaXhosa thina eziphaya emalwandle.
there are animals as we are the
Kunezilwanyana.
process at the sea.
Kunezilwanyana efuneka thina sizikhusele thina nathi.
There are animals that we are supposed to protect, and they can also protect us.
Into endiyicalayo ke mna ke singumphakathi.
What I ask as the community,
No suppose ba ibe ngabantu abapha phambili. Suppose thina bengisithi bakwazi ubona kunezeke into ethile pha ngaphandle kwizilwanyana.
it should not be people above. It should be us as the community members to make ways of how to protect those animals.
That's why I'm asking just intobana masihloniphe izilwanyana zethu because ngamaXhosa thina.
Let's respect our animals because we are the closest.
Because sihlala phana thina singabanye abantu.
Because we live there, some of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mandizibulisele.
Greetings.
Ndingu Amanda.
I am Amanda.
Pandle kwa Ward 56 apha eMotherwell.
I am Amanda Pandle from Ward 56 in
apha
Motherwell.
Yes, mandibulele ngelithuba sithe salifumana.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Uthe usihlalo ngaphambili masingabuzi mosi masitsho into esifuna ifakwe kule bill.
The chairperson said we must not ask, we should suggest what we want to be included in the bill.
Mandiveze ke into yokuba ndiyaqala uyifumana apha esandleni kum, which is zininzi ezi pages, but iminqweno yam ngeyokuba kule nto yokuba ndifumanisa uba kuzabakho iSouth Africa izawufumana ichance yokuba yenze ipetrol and igas. Makubekho i-opportunity yokuba apha e-Eastern Cape kubekho i-port yethu. For instance, like as iNgqura ine-Transnet ilapha eNgqura iphinde naphaya etown iphinde ibe khona i-port na for ile petrol and gas nathi masiyifumane ngokwalapha provincini nokwalapha as a town as Gqeberha.
Since South Africa will get a chance to produce petrol, I suggest that we should also have our own ports here in Ngqura. And also,
no, I was making example when I say Ngqura, but we must have it here in Gqeberha.
Okay. We must have our own ports where we can produce the petrol, for example, in Ngqura or here in Port Elizabeth.
Another thing, as in the Siva Kongoku Apu Kuba, ndisithi andiyifundanga le bill.
As I've said that I did not read this bill because it has many pages. I just got it now.
Funeke kuthiwe make sure uba u-30% osomashishini bayamfumana abamnyama. I think bekumentionwe up to 20%. If we lendo ithethwayo ndicela ibe ngu-30 ingabi ngu-20.
Please make sure that the business owners get at least 30%. I see here that you mentioned 20%. Can it please be increased to 30% and not
for
20%?
Abantu abamnyama.
For black people.
Nansi enye into kukulutsha olungaphangeliyo.
Here's another thing. There's a youth that is unemployed.
Siphinde sibe no 35 years unyuka ongajongelwa ndawo.
We also have 35 years and above that is not considered.
Isicelo sami ke phayana ndicela kubekho i-training ezawuthi ibe free for abo bantu and lo training isondele apha ekuhlaleni ingathi qelele.
I plead for a training for those people, and also it must come closer to people and not be far from the people.
And lo training ndicela xana abantu funeke befumene imisebenzi ichangewe as i-experience kungafunwa experience kwabo bantu, because when it comes to le petroleum and gas asinalwazi lungako kodwa ke ukuba siyacaciselwa siye sibe nalo ulwazi lwento.
And that training, it must also be regarded as an experience so that the people, when they are done with that training, they must, that training will be to be changed to an experience
When it comes
when
to
it
jobs.
comes to jobs.
Please. Enye into ngicela abantu abesimame abafana nam nabangaphezulu bahoywe nabantu abakhubazekileyo babe nepesenti yabo abayifumanayo. Enkosi.
I also ask for women like me to be considered and also people with disabilities. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings to the Parliament. I am Mandela Dike from Ward 53, young people. I'm here standing as for unemployment. We have a huge unemployment, young people. We done our matric, then we sit in our homes, facing a challenge of you have passed your matric, but you do not have any job, you do not have anything to come at home. So we have that big challenges. Our brothers and sisters end up using drugs, also just because they have nothing to do. Can that Parliament help us to sort this problem? Thank you.
South Africa namhlanje kuba kaloku kufanelekile bahambe babheke eParlamente hayi iParlamente ithi nyadafu phantsi ingajongeki suka bangquzulane bangqubane bona bodwa singazi bakwenzeka ntoni na kade sinyamnyeka sisongelwe phantsi singazi uba sisintoni na yiloo nto ndisithi namhlanje sendibhekele phambili kuba kaloku ndisezawugcinela phambili nive izimvo zabantu kunjanje nizifezekise to express the sentiments of the people yiloo nto ndisithi there's no tomorrow without yesterday alikho izolo bengekho namhlanje ngomso isavuya thina kuba sawulila namhlanje kodwa ngenye imini sawuze sinqume sisho sithi kuni sendibheke phambili ndichinele phambili ngicela iqhuthe nexhama hayi bendisuka ndiyeke nini.
That was a beautiful rounding off. Yeah, and I've just requested an interpretation from my chair. And he indicated that apparently Parliament is very good to have been here and the doors are opened and kasitswana ba re tsela tshweu.
Kodwa ke iswangathelo sakhe sithe imbongi ibonakalisa ukuthi uluntu lwalapha luthi kuhle ukuba iParliamente ibe lapha.
Yeah. Now we normally get this praise when the president is going to speak, so we are humbled to get it as well.
Idla ngokwenzeka lento pha eParliament xa umongameli ezawuthetha kuphela. Siziva ke siwongekile apha eBhayibhile mayenzeke nakuthi into enjengale. Basike sibongwe nathi.
So I will make sure that my colleague also get the interpretation of it.
Ndizawuzama umhlobo wami nama apha ngasekhohlo afumane utolikelo lo mbongo.
We are humbled and grateful for your presence, for your contributions. Most of the speakers interacted with the document. We will be considering these comments as we would be rounding off the other provinces. There will be cumulatively being discussed in our committees, and it will be sent to the different houses for endorsement and or discussion. And definitely some of the views that are reflected here would find expression in our discussions.
Sibulela kakhulu ngekubakho kwenu apha nendlela enthena siqhobisa ngayo siziva siwongekile ngeengcebiso enisiphe zona xa sesiqukumbela le nkqubo yonke sesihambe kuwo onke amaphondo esithe safuneka siye kuwo sawuhlala phantsi eqinisekileyo ukuba ezinye zeengcebiso zenu ziyawuba zezinye sayo siyikomiti sizixoxela sisedwa ke ngoku ezi ngcebiso zenu ziya kusinceda kakhulu.
So your participation must not be considered as a futile exercise. It is a necessary exercise in our democracy.
Utsho ukuthi uthatha inxaxheba kwenu namhlanje ningakuboni njengento ekupuca nje kuphela yinkqubo ebaluleke galelo elibaluleke kakhulu kulawulo lwentando yesininzi ukuthi abantu uluntu lube nelizwi kwimithetho equlunqwayo okanye libe negalelo kwimithetho equlunqwayo kwilizwe lethu.
And on that note, we have come to the conclusion of this session, and with the powers borrowed from the chair, I declare the meeting closed.
Ngalozo ngcebiso xa ngalo mazwi ke siyayibulela sifikele esipheleni sehlanganiso yethu ngegunya bendiliboleke ngusihlalo siyayiqukumbela ke intlanganiso.
Save for a quick announcement that the chair would want to make.
Unesaziso kusihlalo azosenza.
No. Isicelo sethu nje kukhona bentende zayichaza xa sivalayo. Kukhona bebezile apha I think usisi lo Gqeberha uthe usanda ukuhlangana nayo le document. Sicela nisebenzise lithuba sisahamba siya kwezinye provinces. Xa ubona umbono wakho usuyifundile ukhawuleze uyibhale phansi ibill i-comments zakho uzazithumela ku aboss@parliament.gov.za aboss@parliament.gov.za or akotse @parliament.gov.za. That's akotse utsho uba ngaba kukhona ezinye izimvo onazo ofuna ukuziphathisa sawuthathwa ke lo natsika nombalelwano yakho ithunyelwe kuona onke amalunga lekomiti. Ndicinga uba nditsho usisi lo ebebuzile ndingawuphendula kancinci lambuzo wakhe. Sisi uclose 31 la clause 31 qala ukuthetha ngo-10% ne participation by black persons. In that sentence, the following sentence, the following sentence, uthetha nge-definition. I-definition iti black people i-company ownwa 51% by black people. So 51% is ownership. 10% is entitlement to trade. Thank you very much. My co-chair here had closed the meeting. So you can write, that's the point I was explaining. If now you are more enlightened, use this opportunity because we are still going to other provinces. From here, obviously, we are going back to Cape Town for the sitting. The weekend, the following weekend, the coming weekend, we'll be in KwaZulu-Natal for the whole weekend. From KwaZulu-Natal, we will be going to the Northern Cape, Limpopo, up until the last province. We hope to finish around early May or late April. We hope we'll have traveled all the provinces, start the work of working on the bill. So it will be okay that you at least have got a month or so to try to think through the document. If you want to do it, please, we request, put it clause by clause, that on clause so and so, chapter so and so, this is the view that I'm having. It helps now that for recording purposes, we quote you exactly according to what you have said on the clauses, rather than to think what you would have wanted to say. There's only one announcement I don't do. They will tell you those who do it. Thank you very much. Bese ivalile usihlalo umhlangano.
Sicela sihlale phansi sizofumana into esaphansi kwempumlo. Can us place it opposite plekers can.